Good morning, knitters. Welcome to PJ Knits. My name's Penny and I'm from Central Illinois. And today is Tuesday, September 15th. See my mug? Not really. I won't work for yarn. Anyway, this is PJ Knits podcast number 46, and this is the end of summer 2020. I cannot believe that we are a week away from the end of summer. Where did it go? Or that we're halfway through September and bearing down onto October. Oh my gosh. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Penny from Central Illinois, if I didn't say that at the start. I am Penny J on Ravelry, and we have a Ravelry group under PJ Knits. I am PJ Knits on Instagram, and I have a blog, www.pjknits.blogspot.com, where I post about knitting and some adventures and family and weather and just what's going on. So mostly knitting. Weather report for Central Illinois, it is 60 degrees at 8:20 in the morning, and it's supposed to get up maybe in the mid-70s today. This is the first spell of nice semi-sunny weather. The sun is supposed to shine, but all of the smoke that is filtering in the upper atmosphere is making it a little cloudy, and we're sad here for those who are out west and what you're having to deal with. So we hope that you will all come through good on the other side. So that's the weather report. So today, going to start with finished objects. First of all, Petite Knit, my Anchors summer shirt. And I've talked about the yarn before. I purchased through the Knitting Place. I follow them on Instagram, and their Insta stories, they just inspire me. And so I have been shopping there during COVID, during the springtime. I love this shirt, Anchors Summer Shirt by Petite Knit. I knit the size large out of the recommended yarn, the Sandusgarn Lena in a rose color. And I can definitely see myself wearing this into the fall, and then maybe making another one come winter, making it long sleeves. Once you get past all this ribbing, it is a lovely knit, and then it's just a straight knit. This is, she made this a little short, as you can see on her, and what I did is I lengthened it as I do with all of my sweaters. And I also made my sleeve a little long, and I have measurements that I use for it because, again, I've talked about it over and over, and because I have these arms, not the arms that I really wanted, but the ones I've got. So anyway, I'm loving this, made it a little bit longer. Highly recommend this pattern. It is a fun knit, and it feels good. And like I said, after the ribbing, lots of ribbing, be prepared for that. It's stockinette all the way. And I, as I do with all my sweaters, I always pick up more stitches underneath the arm than called for, because there's always a little give that you can do that. So that is my first finished object. And then also I have in the, for Comforting Crafts, I have finished a washcloth, dishcloth for El Salvador. And there's a thread in the Ravelry group where I talk about these. This is with Brittany for in conjunction with Comforting Crafts. And we are trying to do 500 for her for El Salvador by the end of the this year. So if you're inclined to do some quick knitting while you're waiting wherever these days, we'd love to have you join us on that. And there is a prize thread of Coco Knits things that I will award at the end of the season on that. So, and then next up, my finished object is my ranunculus. And this is my second ranunculus, but this is a short sleeve version. And it will be no surprise that I have made some mods to this particular one. I used cake wool and their fingering and then their slub. And this was my first time for doing slub yarn. And I'm not 100% sold on it because it's hot right now. I may give it another look-see, but the way this is inclined, this particular rib, and it may just be me, but I get a little, I'm going to call it worming, but that's, sorry. but I'm going to call it that at the neck. But otherwise, I love knitting with it. And I did it out of the Captain Phil colorway. And I did alternate skeins when I got down towards the bottom. And again, on this particular one, I did modifications on it. that calls for a size 9 needle, and I used a size 10. And then what I did is after the sleeve break, I knit for about 9-10 inches, and then I added a 2-inch rib because again, this was in their short version. It's cropped, and again, that's just not me. And I've told you all that before, so that's an old story. At about 7 inches, 7.5 inches after the split, I went up to a size 11 needle to accommodate for my hips. And just wanted to give it a little bit more of A-line on it. And then when I got down to right before the rib, the last row, which I do on a lot of rib sweaters, I added 15% stitches in the rib, and then I went back down to my size 10 needle. And that makes it so that it doesn't cinch in around my butt because I didn't want it to do that. And that's something I've been doing for some time via a pattern that I knit with that I knit out of from the Rainey Sisters. Gosh, Patty, I can't think. Pickpocket, and they did the similar thing, and because of that cinching, and I've been just encompassing that in all of my sweaters since then. So I did that. And this one is the last of my summer sweaters because we're a week away from summer. And what I did, I had another one I was working on was Sugar Maple. And when I saw that the weather was changing, I thought there's no way I'm going to get that done and be able to wear it and give it justice this summer season. So I packed it away, and I'm going to pull it out about February-ish so that I'll have a spring sweater when it actually turns spring. So this is the last of the summer sweaters. And again, I will probably get maybe a little bit aware of this. I added length to the sleeves because it's a cap sleeve, so I could wear it a while, and I can wear it underneath a jacket or a jean jacket certainly in the next couple of weeks, because sometimes it can get a little warm even as we go into October here, and maybe even mid-October. So anyway, not totally going to be put away for the season, but definitely bringing it out to wear over sleeveless tunics next year, or even sundresses next year. I'm hoping to be able to have some of those made as well. So that is Ranunculus. KAL updates, Together Apart. That is finishing up in a week, and you will, at the end of summer, you should have your pictures posted in the Together Apart group. This is a pattern, if you recall, by Melanie Berg that we started after ZK in the group. And the idea was to switch yarns with somebody and then incorporate one of their yarns in your shawl. I used, on mine, I used a Cascade Heritage yarn with a size 4 needle as recommended. And then Debbie, as you recall, gave me some of her Sun Valley Fibers gold to put into it. And I just finished it yesterday, and next time I'm going to do a Together Apart wrap up and talk about the complete shawl when we get done, and of things that went wrong for me and things that went right. And I had just barely enough. No, I didn't have just barely. I had to back out a row in order to complete my bind off. But again, we're going to talk about that next time when we do a Together Apart wrap up. And what I will say about it is it was a lot of garter, and the lace was interesting, but interesting. Fun to do as a break in between. But again, we'll talk about it next time. But mine's done, so I'm pleased that that is off the needles and I can start on something next. The Summer of Shawls also wraps up next Monday, so on the 21st. Be sure and put your pictures in, and any shawls that you've done during the Summer of Shawls. It doesn't would go into that thread. And both groups, the Together Apart and the Summer of Shawls, they both have prizes at the end. So I'm hoping that you will all participate in that and get that out there for you. Books and bags are next. I went to my library, and by the way, today's garbage day, so we'll probably have interruptions here. I went to my library in a book that I've had for some time. It's Wrap Style. Now, I do not think that it is available in print, but I know that Interweave Knits has the patterns and maybe even the book as an ebook. And this is so interesting when I found this book in my library. And that's what I try to do in Books of Bags a lot of times, is to show you books out of my library and give you a thought. Maybe you have them, or maybe they're just ideas. But interesting, because we had been talking all summer long, and as we go into winter, wraps and shawls are certainly still appropriate knitting. There's some great ideas in this book put out. Again, Pam Allen and Ann Budd, editors of Interweave Knits at the time. There is some great patterns in here that I want to revisit. This particular shrug is interesting as well. And I just give you, you can get just an eyeball of what that looks like. Isn't that cool? So there's so many cool things, very Harry Potter-esque. There's the Harry Potter book, and I wouldn't be so sure that this isn't very close to what was in there. In the back, they give you wraps and variations on a theme on and how to about different shawls, and kind of like a design notebook to kind of give you an idea if you're so inclined to designing some shawls. Just, you know, ideas of a hemmed edge, a lace edge, when to use them. Triangular shawls, they talk about there. There's a cashmere crossing. Is this not gorgeous? And I think so very appropriate for right now. I just was thrilled to find this book in my library. Oh, I love this. This is Grand Plan for Top-Down Capelets, and I think there's 3 of them in here. Look at this. Very appropriate for some, and I have some Molly Klein fingering in mohair, and wouldn't that be gorgeous in that, as opposed to trying to do another sweater out of it. So this is such a super cool find. Here's one that has lace in it and buttons. Oh my gosh, guys. And just some really cute ones. This is adorable too. A different take on a shawl look. There you go. Oh my gosh. I'm just loving this. So it was quite the find. Don't you just love it when you go to your book case and find something that's super, super fun that you never knew that you had. I knew I had it. It's just that I had forgotten that it was there. Isn't that beautiful? So anyway, that's the book I wanted to share with you. It's still available as an ebook on Interweave Knits, Wrap Style, and even I love this one. Now for bags. You know, I always am torn about what to show you in bags, because I do love my bags, but something came to mind yesterday as I was getting my stuff ready to go to knitting today. And a friend of mine had a party last week, and this is a 31 bag, and it's a program you can do them online. You can have parties and earn things. You know the deal. And we've had 1 or 2 ones at work, and I've also attended other people and really got kind of sold on it. Now, the one I want to show you today is the Zip Top Organizing Utility Tote, and they've updated for some time since the beginning. But the nice thing about this is that if you want to, you don't have to. And again, this style is no longer available. And let me say, I'm getting no compensation for this. Just wanted to share this with you. If you're attending a party, or you want to look at the website, if you want, you can have them embroidered with anything you want. So I had PJ Knits put on mine. And just a tour of the outside. This is my go-to bag now for going down to the riverfront, because it is done out of a fabric that is vinyl-y, so that I don't have to worry that if it sits down on wet grass or it sits down on something, I can easily wash off the bottom or wash out the inside. And so that's what I love about this. It has long handles, so it can go over my shoulder, which is a really prerequisite for me in bags. And it has all of these outside pockets, which I love. And what I do is I put my coffee in this one. Over here, I have my hand lotion, but I have my wipes, and I have my hand sanitizer. So when I go into the restroom, I have something just in case. Then on the side, I have napkins and some almonds just in case I get hungry when I'm on the riverfront. It's a little mesh side. Then you flip it around and there's more. Flip it around. And there's more on the other side. Another deep pocket that my water goes in. So after I drink my coffee, I have water. And then on this side is my little bag to put my lip balm or lipstick. And there's actually, and this was a Silver Shed little pouch that I got from her. And there's some eyeglass cleaners in there. There's some mints in there. And then I have, if I go to get coffee, I have a little coffee sock that I got from Alicia some time ago that's always in my knitting bag just in case I need something to keep it from getting my hand warm, hot. Keeps the coffee warm, hand from hot. And then finally I have my pochette from Espace Tricot that fits in there really nice, that has all of my accessories in there. All of my knitting accessories and my scissors and my tape measure and that just stays in there. Then in the inside there is no pockets, but in the inside it's a big, deep, plenty big. And then on top it has this wonderful zip. There are openings here, no biggie, but it has this great zip on top to keep everything in. So you can see it's pretty big. And this is the 31 zip top organizing utility tote. And I love it. And I actually have a second one in a different pattern that was a gift from some friends that I taught how to knit. And it has my hospice stuff in it. Same thing. So I just wanted to share that bag with you because I think that was so super cool to have in my stash and to pull it out. And actually the one who reminded me that I had it was Debbie. She had hers down the riverfront and I thought that is going to just be perfect. So, okay, watching and knitting. What are you watching? I just wanted to call your attention to a couple of things that I am watching. On Craftsy right now, all the classes are free and I encourage you to try that out if you have a Craftsy account. If you remember, it was Craftsy, it went to Blueprint, and now Craftsy is taking it back, which is wonderful. And all of the classes, while they're waiting to load our old classes in there, are free. And I have been looking at all kinds of classes. I did a photography one recently that was for my iPhone, and I found out all kinds of cool things that I can do with emojis. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. And that's what I've been watching. Also, if you have BritBox, I've been watching Prime Suspect. This is probably from the 80s with Helen Mirren. I watched all the episodes. It's a great British drama. And if you have BritBox, I encourage you to watch it. Mail call. Look what I found via my friend Kendra. This is a Life is Good t-shirt, Knit Happens 2020, and it's available on the Life is Good website. Is that not perfect? It'd be perfect. Perfect for wearing. And then I wanted to show you all something I got from Lolo Did It. This is part of the Summer of Shawls prize. The colorway is Here Comes the Sun. Isn't that fun? And that's part of the prize in the Summer of Shawls. So be sure and put it out there, guys. And then I just wanted to tell you again about my Polly Studios mug. I got this back from Maryland Sheep and Wool online when they were doing online. Isn't that cool? It was a special order. It took a few weeks to get it, but I just thought that was super, super cool. And I've been saving that to show you for some time. Whips. Okay. Since I finished my scarf, my shawl yesterday, I've been working on a present. And this yarn I bought as a bundle from Sun Valley Fibers. And it's going to be a Harry Potter. And I think it's going to be either a cowl or a scarf. I haven't decided yet. I have bought 2 cool black pom-poms to do on it. And we'll see. That one's to be debated as to what it's going to be. This will be the 4th colorway. So that's really what I'm concentrating on right now for my knitting, for my works in progress. And I'm going to take that down. It's fun to take down to the riverfront to do. Also, I have on the needles something that I'm doing for the Ho-He Fall Knit Along, also with the ZK Knit Along. And I am doing Ho-He's Super Simple Summer Sweater. I bought yarns back in the spring to do this colorway in this red, like a red and a white. But I've decided that I'm going to save that for next spring. And so in the meantime, what I am doing is I cast on one with my 4th of July yarn from Briar Rose Fiber Arts. And that's what am using on it. I have not progressed very far on that, and I'm going to talk about that in future episodes. But that's what I'm knitting for the 2 knit-alongs right now. And we'll talk about that whole thing in future episodes. Shawl and Tell. I'm really excited about this new feature that we're going to have on PJ Knits. I want to, first of all, and what we're going to do in this Shawl and Tell is we're going to continue the experience with shawls. But one of the things that I'm going to be doing a lot of is I'm going to be knitting a lot of my folk shawls from Cheryl Oberle's book. You know, all in past episodes, I've told you about how much I love this book and how nice of a friend Cheryl Oberle is. So, to knitters. And so I'm going to be exploring a lot of these in the next few months into a year. So this will be the premise of a lot of what I will be knitting on and talking about. Also in that book, I have shown before my kimono shawl, and it's sitting now next to my chair, and I want to really get going on this and finish this soon out of this book. So again, I'm going to talk about that one as we go on. This particular one is for hospice shawls. And I want to do a shout out to Bindu, who sent me a huge box of yarn for hospice. We do appreciate it, and it will be used lovingly. Thank you, Bindu. Which brought me to something that I had been thinking about this during COVID. Shawls are a perfect item to knit for a friend that is in need. And I found lately a few friends who have been going through some things, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I had a shawl to give them just as a little hug to drop on their doorstep? And so I really want to develop that with myself as well, to have some of those shawls on the ready, not necessarily ones that I would be wearing, but ones that I could give to a friend who is in need. And so we're going to kind of explore that as well as we go along through the fall and the winter. So what's up next, people? Oh gosh. I hope that I can make this happen, but I'm going to try and do a triangular shawls video because I have a lot of those, and I've had a couple of people reach out and say, I love them, but I don't know how to wear them. So I'm going to try and do that and show you some ideas in the next few weeks as a separate video. That's what I'm hoping for. Next time we will be doing a Together Apart wrap-up along with the Summer of Shawls wrap-up as well. And then in the future, we're going to talk about sweaters. We're going to do some sweater knitting. I'm going to explore other designers of sweater knittings during the fall and the winter. I hope you'll join me for those. Give you some ideas of my favorites, and maybe give you some ideas of how I change up my knits on sweaters so that they fit me well. And then again, Christmas will be coming, and we will be talking about Christmas down the road as well. So I have a lot of plans for PJ Knits in the coming months. I hope that you will join me, and please, if you would, subscribe, because that helps get notifications to you that there's a new video. That's simply it. And if you want, comment below, and please join our Ravelry group and post your shawls there and talk about knitting. And if you would, down the road on PJ Knits, a lot of the information that I'm going to be talking about on sweaters and designers will be featured there on some blog posts. So I hope you will jump on pjknits.blogspot.com as well. So I think that's it for today, Tuesday, September 15th. I am going to get my bag and my coffee and my water and my rest of my stuff ready because I'm heading down to the Peoria Riverfront. It's going to be a beautiful day to knit with friends, and we socially distance down there, and just have the greatest of time on Tuesdays and then on some Fridays. So I'm looking forward to that, to seeing them. I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much for joining, and stay safe. Knit on with confidence and hope through all crises. Bye.